Hello and welcome to Maths with Jacob. This lesson will focus on distance, speed and time worksheet. So this video presents a worksheet where we can practice doing some problems involving distance, speed and time. Now if you're not sure what to do with these problems, on the next slide there is a link, and if you click on that link it will take you to the lesson and it explains how to do all of these problems. The main equation we saw in the lesson was this one. Distance equals speed multiplied by time. That is the main equation, and from this particular equation, just with a small amount of manipulation, we can find an equation where we have speed equals. We can also find another equation which has time equals. So it just requires a small manipulation where we can work out the speed if we're given the distance and the time, and we can work out the time if we're given the distance and the speed. So let's quickly look at the first one. What distance does a car travel if it has an average speed of 80 kilometers an hour for 3 hours? So there's your speed, so there's S and there's T. So that's the equation you use to find D, and this one is very similar. For number 3, we are asked for the average speed of a car if it travels 360 kilometers in 6 hours. So we have to find S, we're given D and we're given T. And it's exactly the same here. For this one here, we have to find the time. So we are given the distance of 650 kilometers. And we're given the speed. So we can find the time because we're given D and S, and this is exactly the same. We're given D and S in number 6, and we have to find the time. For this one here, it has two parts to the journey. The first part, the car averages 50 kilometers an hour for the first 90 minutes, which is 1.5 hours. So you just put 1.5 for the hours. And for the next part, it averages 60 kilometers an hour for the final 2 hours. So all we do, we use this equation twice. Once for the first part with that information, and once for the second part. And that'll give us our answer of the total distance that the car travels. And number 8 is exactly the same. It has two parts to the journey, and there's the first part there, and that's the second part. And when you do each of those parts into that equation, that will give you the total distance travelled. So this video has presented a worksheet where we can practice doing some problems involving distance, speed and time. And don't forget, on the next slide there is a link. If you click on the link, it will take you to the lesson, and it will show you how to do all of these problems.